People's opinions were made clear when Stephen Colbert's audience chuckled at the notion that CNN is objective. How can CNN expect to connect with people from other political parties if even liberal listeners find it amusing that the network is an unbiased news source? Bill Maher criticized CNN host Caitlin Collins for her biased reporting, pointing to what many people had been believing for years, depending on how we interpret her response. Caitlin defended CNN by pointing out that both Democrats and Republicans are welcome on her show. But it's how those visitors are treated, not CNN's impartiality, that matters. If one side feels exploited while the other is given a free pass, it is hardly fair journalism. Bill denied her, saying that Kamala's statement demonstrated why so many people, especially conservatives, distrust CNN. He also criticizes CNN for treating conservatives unfairly, pointing out that most of its panels are liberal.
Look, I mean, and when you see the panel, it does look like tokenism. It's kind of like the same as The View. It's like it's almost better to have nobody there, like MSNBC, than to have this person.
It was a harsh but accurate statement. Bill talked on how conservatives are treated differently when it comes to participation. Instead of balancing the imbalance, having one conservative on a panel full of liberals makes it worse. CNN seems to be saying, look, we have a conservative voice, but that voice is drowned out by the others. She tries to defend CNN in her response by highlighting its diversity.
And I don't think that you can say that CNN is anything but fair. I mean, look at that. We covered President Biden's exit from the race very closely, the pressure on him to get out. And I feel like I can speak with authority on this. I'm from Alabama. I'm from a very red state. I have a very conservative family, a lot of them who are Trump voters. They watch my show every night. And I think they know that they can trust me, that, you know, we call bullshit on every side, not just whatever leaning our audience may be. And I think that's something that people actually want more of, is to hear from that. I was speaking last night, it's not like they were all Democrats. I mean, Dana Bash, Jake Tapper, Abby Phillip, all my amazing colleagues.
They come across
giving
that way.
analysis.
They come across that way. In a moment like that, it was like 5-1. It always looks like 5-1. Okay.
Her argument of CNN mostly hinges on the idea that a diverse team ensures unbiased reporting. How does her bringing up her conservative family and Alabama background relate to CNN's fairness? She also cites people like Jake Tapper and Dana Bash as examples of diversity, although many viewers consider these names as biased rather than as a show of impartiality, particularly in circumstances like the one Bill Maher mentioned. She also talked about the coverage of Biden's withdrawal from the campaign, which seems to have been Bill's way of drawing attention to the different responses. One such reaction was the 5-1 commenting ratio that many Americans found distressing. When news outlets give one direction too much credit, a sizable amount of the audience leaves because it makes it more difficult for people to believe what they are being told. This is a bigger issue with the media in general, whether they want to acknowledge it or not. Fairness is less important than doing the bare minimum of journalism.
Think about the fact that Kamala doesn't talk to the press. In a way, I feel like it's more insulting than what Trump does. And Trump says you're the enemy of the people, which is pretty bad. What she's kind of saying is, I don't need you. I'm not talking to you. You don't matter. You're not relevant anymore. To me, that's even worse than I hate you. It's like, I don't think about you.
Despite his controversial stance, Bill appears to be endorsing Trump's claim that the press is the public's adversary. According to him, Kamala Harris's total disdain for the media would be much more concerning, since it suggests that neither the public nor the media are important enough to warrant concern. Leaders who avoid the media create a negative impression by giving the appearance that they are hiding something or are afraid of being held responsible. Even when the questions are awkward or challenging, a leader must be direct and honest in order to win the people's trust.
I don't know if it's worse than denigrating the press on a daily basis, which is what Donald Trump did. I mean, I covered him in the White House every day as a correspondent, and oftentimes to kind of shake you if you were asking him a question, he would try to get into a personal argument with you, or just deny or lie about what you were asking about. And so I don't know if I would compare the two. I do think she should talk to the press. I think anyone who wants to have access to the nuclear codes should be willing to sit down and take questions. And we'd love to have her on the show.
I'd love to too, but I'm not going to hold my breath.
We'll see who gets her first.
Well, I think she'll do you before she does me, but oh, stop.
I love this crowd.
Kate rightly notes that Trump's frequent attacks on the media were damaging, but her answer does not fully address Bill's criticism of Kamala. If leaders don't use the media to engage with the people they represent, it seems like they are hiding something or don't care about the public. This interview serves as an example of a growing problem between leaders and the media. Public trust is harmed by politicians who criticize the media or keep quiet. To avoid giving the impression that they have nothing to conceal, they should instead pose direct and truthful queries. What do you think of Bill Maher's analysis on CNN? Kindly leave a remark.